What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another Fannounce Table edition of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast. It is time for our annual Royal Rumble watch along. We'll be watching the 1993 Royal Rumble match in this case because it's about 30 years old at this point. January 24th, 1993. It is currently January 18th, 2023. So we're going to go back in time and watch Yokozuna win the first ever time that somebody won the Royal Rumble to challenge for the championship at WrestleMania. This is history in the making. I'm your host, as always, Tony Mango, joined by, as always, Robert DeFelice.
Spoilers, Tony. Now I know who wins.
Yeah, well, you know, surprise, surprise. And Callum Wiggins.
Pinfalls don't count.
A lot of beef in the ring on this one. And, you know, this is the way that we normally do things here, where we will be giving you a countdown of 3, 2, 1, play. And as I say play, I'll be hitting the play button on everything, and you'll be seeing the time code that's up on your screen right now. If you are on YouTube, ticking along. If you are not on YouTube and you're just on the audio only feeds, then you don't see a time code, but you should be at 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 49 seconds. The Peacock feed, at least, that's what Rob and I are watching it on. Callum's over on the WWE Network, and I don't know exactly what time that is. The thing that we're working with here is it's right after Gorilla Monsoon is talking about Narcissus, and he says, I'll give the guy credit, he looks great. And at least on the Peacock feed, it fades to black, and then it's going to fade back in with a commercial break that they inserted in there. But what time is it on the WWE Network one, Callum?
It's kind of hard to tell, really, because I'm trying to figure it out at this point. Trying to have a look at Narcissus quickly, see if that figures it out.
It's like a shot of the crowd when he's saying it. Okay,
so it's about 121, 36, 37, around about that level.
Okay, so there's about like a 10
I just heard Monsoon shout that he looks great.
Yeah, it's like it's fading out as he's saying that, essentially. So we're working with around that time frame.
There's no fade out on the network, so
yeah. So you've got a couple seconds of a window there that might be a little bit different, but generally speaking, if you hit play on your either network or Peacock feed when we say it, then you should be pretty much synced up. And obviously, for anybody that's wondering why we can't just put the feed up there, it's because that's a copyright issue, and the WWE would take this down immediately if we had anything other than that one static graphic, which even then, sometimes people get upset about. I still cannot monetize my Air Force One review from Fanboys Anonymous because whatever it is, I don't know if it's like Universal or Warner Brothers or something, are like, nope, you put something about the movie up on there, and it's like, well, one graphic? Really? One static graphic? But them's the breaks when it comes to YouTube and their BS. So as we go along here, we want to have you guys watch this with us, and we'll be reacting to it the way that we have done a million times at this point, and just kind of having some fun. And as we go through here, we watch all the 30 competitors come out and all. I haven't actually rewatched this in a while, so I don't remember too many of the specifics behind it. I know obviously some of the stuff's going to come back to my memory, and obviously I know who won and a lot of the things that go along with that, but I couldn't tell you who number 1 and number 2 are or anything like that without really thinking hard about it, and I'd rather be a little bit more surprised. So some of the stuff might be a little bit like, oh, I don't remember that part and everything, and it's part of the fun of it. But the commentary track that we've got going on here is pretty much all set up. So if you are not ready for it, pause this video, come back when you can. But remember, it is going to be 3, 2, 1, play. And then that is when we're going to be playing this. And then there you go. That's pretty much all you need to know. So I'm all set. How are you guys?
As are we.
Yes.
All right. Well, then we are going to get this started in 3, 2, 1, play. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Caesar and Cleopatra. This is one of those weird things that they decided to do. Because WrestleMania 9 is going to be taking place with this whole Caesar's Palace theme and all. I'm not the biggest fan of this intro. I do remember that.
Looks like the crowd aren't super excited by it either.
Nobody should remember this Royal Rumble. This Royal Rumble is not memorable.
Not really.
Even though it's the most logical Royal Rumble in the history of Royal Rumbles.
Crowd does not care about these people.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for them. Like they've had to come out and do this.
Hey, they get 2 paydays, okay? They open up WrestleMania too. Although that time they have elephants. Probably a lot more fun.
Are these actual people that work for Caesar's Palace, or is it like, are they not just
I don't know.
I would indie wrestlers?
I would hope that they were actual people, like, because maybe that guy could be an indie wrestler, but there weren't too many independent female wrestlers in the States at the time.
I'm pretty sure that they were just actors and that they just threw the costumes on them and all that. I don't even think that they necessarily were a part of Caesar's Palace.
Well, they've got mic stands.
Why are you doing this to them? Why are you doing this to these poor people?
Caesar probably didn't look anything close to what people make him look like.
That sounds like a very famous voice actor. Let me see if I can. I feel like he once hosted whatever that show is where they say, "Will the real so and so please stand up?"
I don't have any idea what.
Shady?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
He's not a bad announcer.
No, he's got a good voice.
No, I'm almost certain at this point that he's a well-known actor.
Cleopatra doesn't say anything, I'm pretty sure, right?
He's not well known in this room.
We'll cordially greet you, and she's just standing there.
I stumbled across a forum. If you know anything about forums, they're as trolly as modern social media. So someone asked who they are, and it's just literally people going, "Vince owns a time machine. It's really Caesar and Cleopatra." Actually, it's. I hope everybody's getting their popcorn.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much need to at that point.
Yeah. I feel bad for the people that now feel like they need to get up.
Now, you would think that they'd be trying to do something at like the Coliseum or whatever, but instead they're at the ARCO arena or the Sleep Train arena as we were looking up ahead of time.
I feel like sleeping right now.
I don't blame you. So prior to this, I mean, if we would have had the time, we could have watched the whole event. I know that that was a request.
Somebody was asking if like, hey, watch a whole pay-per-view.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't necessarily have the time, but earlier in the night, Doink the Clown beats Jim Powers by submission. Steiner Brothers beat the Beverly Brothers. Shawn Michaels retains the Intercontinental title over Marty Jannetty. Bam Bam Bigelow beats Big Boss Man. Bret Hart retains the WWF title over Razor Ramon. So this is our main event.
I'll be honest, the undercard for this show is actually pretty good. Bret and Razor have an unheralded match. No one talks about it. It's actually pretty good. Shawn and Marty probably have the best match of Marty's career. Steiners and Beverly. Steiners are fun, as we've talked about recently. All right, who'd you number one?
Oh, there we go.
Now, this is one of those trends that WWE does. You can see this on I'm pretty sure that this is on my statistics page on smark.com, but they do have a tendency of taking somebody who had been at the very beginning of a Royal Rumble, to put them back at the beginning again, just to kind of tell the story of can they do it a second time around? Like Chris Benoit happens like that. Shawn Michaels happens like that. And they also like people who won the previous Royal Rumble starting off at the beginning, just to sort of be like, wow, it's going to be harder this time around. So Ric Flair, of course, the previous year had been the winner in 92, which we watched. Go back and check that out. And, you know, hey, he's the 60-minute man. Let's see if he can go that far this time. No music for Bob Backlund, who runs out like he's fucking Ultimate Warrior or something.
Doesn't even have entrance music.
They didn't even have a video wall.
Nothing.
He's just very super old school. They're both wearing red. This is so confusing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can't tell them apart at all. Backlund is such a...
Thank God for Flair's tan, otherwise you couldn't. How would you possibly know?
So this is prior to crazy heel turn Bob Backlund.
Yeah, when Backlund became more fun.
You got a good year and a half. Heenan calls.
And they're both wearing red. Backlund's so weird. He's like
he was
like Opie from Ron Howard is wrestling or something.
I can't really envision the world where he was WWE champion for like 5 years, whatever it was.
Yes, you can. It's the same world without like TVs in every household and regular entertainment.
Yeah, but I think that he was a draw. I don't know. That's kind of like harsh against that. Well, I mean, he was to a degree.
I mean, as most kids, kids liked him because he was champion. They're talking about the age of 43 years old, so it's like,
yeah, that's like your prime nowadays.
Yeah,
like AJ Styles now.
I mean, there's people that are 70 wrestling with New Japan
and TNA.
Yeah,
or Impact, yeah. But
like Jericho is still having peak matches, and he's 51, 52.
Sting's not retired yet.
Just think that that Mike Jackson guy who was the guy that wrestled in that Impact match.
That's right. He just did a
he's a sprightly 40-year-old right now.
Yeah. And why is it that the atomic drop gets Flair to flop forward?
Don't ask questions.
This clock is really bad too. It's like they didn't center the numbers. Papa Shango, Papa Shango, Papa Shango. That's an old school recurring joke.
I'm surprised he's still around at this point.
It's about the end for him.
It's Wade Barrett's favorite Royal Rumble competitor. Do you think he's going to call attention to that again this year?
I think he'll hope that Shango will come out at some point.
Why shouldn't he?
So far, I haven't noticed. There goes Papa Shango.
Yeah.
He normally ends up saying something along the lines of like, oh, Papa Shango is going to be in the Royal Rumble or whatever. And so far, I don't think he has.
You know what's fucking crazy is like Shango is a big deal. He was in a rivalry with Warrior. He was in a rivalry with Brett. And he's already done here. Like, they're already over it.
In the finish of the previous year's WrestleMania?
He was one of the last people you see at WrestleMania, right? So,
now, I wish somebody like a Pritchard or somebody with like experience in like that 92, 93 transition would be more open about it. This is a really like unique time in WWE where they're throwing everything at the wall.
Well, I'm sure many of the people involved in that time wouldn't want to really talk about things that went on in the early 90s.
That's the problem.
Slapping his chest.
Flair doing the whole like, please no, please. I just can't picture Bob Backlund being the type of person that you got to like run away from. Look at how bad that clock is positioned. Jeez.
Well, they've moved it slightly. It's a bit more sensitive.
Yeah, it's a little better. They're gonna like slowly move it with each person that comes out.
Yeah.
Ted DiBiase, $1 million man
It's
coming out with Jimmy Hart.
Yep, manager of Money Inc. for the next 2 months until he turns his back on them for the Hulkamaniacs. See, like, in this era, it's probably like boring. But if you do this now, you're like, wow, 3 ring technicians who could really last for a long time. And
they're big names. I mean,
Flair
was the previous winner and the champion, and
Backlund is
Backlund
currently a tag team champion.
At least Ted DiBiase, like one of the most popular characters of all time, and
Backlund, I don't think anybody's seeing him as the big name. I feel like, as weird as it is, people are probably looking at him like Grandpa more so than Flair,
even
though they're the same age.
But at least in theory, you know, he's one of the.
By the way, Bobby Heenan just called him Opie.
Yeah, there you go. See, he looks so much like him. It's ridiculous. It always surprises me when I look back on these old pay-per-views how visible the steps are in the arena. It's just all this empty space.
I like this color scheme with the maroon colored apron and the gold logo.
I like this Royal Rumble logo. It's not my favorite, but I think you tweak the colors a little bit better, it would look a lot nicer.
What's the font, Tony?
I don't know, but I have it. And I have it written down somewhere.
The ropes always go down this easily. It feels like they're going down very quickly. Yeah.
No.
I would not want to run these ropes, put it that way.
Listen to the pop for Brian Knobbs.
He's running the ropes like a champ. I would be so scared running that quickly that you're just going to, with the ropes as loose as that, you're just going to fall over the top rope.
Double knocker.
That's a really good save. Like, you can clearly see he's like, look at how high my foot is. I am not going near this floor. I always hate this DiBiase because you can tell, like, that's completely like his natural hair. So his career is winding down, and it just sad.
This is like so different. Like, you can say, like, obviously it's amazingly different compared to now and back then, but just to say, like, this is like not even like this right at the exact start of the 1990s. We're 3 years into the 1990s at this point, and how much the style changes even by like 97, 98.
Oh, yeah. Big difference.
Yeah.
It's weird to think that too, because like that, I mean, we've said before, it's weird that like certain people like Shelton Benjamin have been in WWE for 20 years. Then you look at like Austin, and you know, he basically only had a few years, and people like
everything changed during that brief time.
Like Akira Tozawa has been on the main roster longer at this point than Yoko. You know, like, but it is weird, like that transition from 93 to 98 is such a big difference. And you think back just a few years ago, 5 years ago, is it really that much different?
DiBiase said, I don't have the job to you anymore.
So DiBiase coming out at number 4, Virgil coming out pretty soon afterward. Sound a little familiar?
I just like to point out, that was 2 atomic drops. Atomic drops are a spot in the Royal Rumble. Thank you.
At 43 years of age, too.
I like that they keep saying that as if Flair isn't 44 at the time. Like,
yeah, they don't want to reveal that, though. I mean, to be fair, they probably should be revealing, because I'm pretty sure they'd be aware that he's going out, he's leaving the company soon. He doesn't last much longer, does he?
No, it's the next night. He does leave town.
Yeah, so I'm sure they would. Well, I don't know why they're not actually burying him more about the fact that. Oh, there you go. That's what you do if you run towards these ropes.
They really are kind of loose, aren't they?
It's a very classic thing as well. A guy walking down the aisle selling popcorn. You see that nowadays.
Yeah, people don't eat popcorn anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely where we're going there. I love Flair's punches. Underrated puncher.
Because he chops so much. I mean, to be fair, they need to be good because that's basically that, and chopping is kind of all he does. Maybe a suplex every now and again.
It's a very old man rumble
Hey,
for a new generation, by the way.
Yeah, we'll add
What's
to the old man.
happening here?
Yeah, add to the old man. Get Jerry in.
I guess technically the new generation era doesn't start until Hogan goes over to WCW. Like, this is ridiculous. That's an interesting gear for Lawler. He never wears that. It's the airbrush tights.
Jerry fighting Flair. I wonder how many times he fought Ric Flair in Memphis.
A handful. Because he typically fought the AWA champion, but I do know that Flair did go to the TV studios in Memphis to have a decent match with Lawler.
See, that's good. They're counting the guy out who crawls out under the ring.
Should be like the rules here are kind of, they play fast and loose with them a lot of the times. Like, Finley was disqualified for using a shillelagh in one Royal Rumble, which is ridiculous.
No, he was just disqualified. Get him out. I really like the gear for Lawler. It's so random. It's like this super 90s airbrush. I feel like he might have went to Jimmy Hart's guy, because Jimmy's got the airbrush going on.
Oh, by the way, the fonts, I looked it up that I had in my notes. Dinosauria for Rumble and Davison Americana for Royal.
I feel like I might have your fonts, but if I don't, I just need them again, because
yeah, because I have like 2,000 or something. Max Moon comes shooting in, shooting in out.
Known as the Cosmic Kid, then named for like a week Maximilian Moon, and then they just shortened that down to Max.
Cosmic Kid seems to make a little bit more sense. Not that this gimmick makes any sense as it is.
It's a great gimmick. For 93, like, this is very on brand of what you'll see on kids' TV for 93. It's just that they would have needed a better luchador or any luchador.
It's very on brand for the worst period in wrestling history.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, though, if you were to take the Max Moon name or the Cosmic Kid name and you give him, I mean, he was entertaining in the match we watched on the first episode of Raw.
Jesus,
you give him a better costume and you put him out there as not something that's supposed to be like some, superhero-y technological blah blah BS. You just have him as like another like Kalisto type or something, luchador. That could work.
I feel like if Conan would have actually stuck with the job, might have worked out that way.
I think he'd fit right in modern NXT.
That's super awkward. Flair grabbed Max Moon from behind, waiting for someone to hit him, and no one hit him, so they just had to sort of slide over to the other side of the ring.
Well, this is the point in time where just like there's no spots being called. Well, the spots being called in the ring, but there's no preparation prior to this beyond like this guy's eliminating this guy, you're getting eliminated around about this time, and you're winning.
Yeah,
you can totally see that people are just like, "What do you want me to do? I'll shoot you in." Okay, yeah. Now what?
Yeah.
The clock is almost centered now.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes Max Moon.
Oh.
Who we got here? Tenryu?
Major Japanese
Tenryu.
star. Not so much a major American star, but he should go right for Flair because Flair will have fun with him.
And then they'll just do chops.
Yeah, they'll chop each other. That's what you do.
And people will pop because he's chopping Flair.
Yeah.
Cannot say that if I were to book even a 100-man Royal Rumble, I don't think that Tenryu would be one of my people that I'd have as a
Tenryu would
go-to.
absolutely make it for me over some of the names I got. Fucking Jim Runzel.
Yeah, I know enough about Tenryu to know that he would be a better hand than
big deal, like
beat Brian Blair.
Or Timothy Well or Stephen Dunn or fucking
yeah.
We had 372 people, I think, is what we ended up calculating. I think that
each do 100-man Rumble.
I think that there's other options. That's a real smart move, Flair. Bring the guy back into the ring.
Yeah.
I think that I could find 99 other people other than Tenryu that I put over there. I mean, everybody in this match so far except for
Max Moon, who kind of eliminated himself.
Yeah, except for Max Moon.
We've had Max Moon, Brian Knobs, and
Knobs.
I think he eliminated Knobs.
Forgot about Knobs.
And then who's the first one eliminated?
Papa Shango. Yeah, I'd much rather put Papa Shango in a Royal Rumble.
You need like a major name. I need to hear the people pop for someone.
At least they're counting.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're into it.
Dead.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
There you go. Mr. Perfect.
There we go.
He just throws the towel. Doesn't even come close to like doing the catching thing.
This is like the number 2 feud in the company, if not number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like, okay, cool. Listen to Bobby.
And now they're excited, so this is good.
Perfect was never as good as a babyface to me.
Oh no, he's not supposed to be.
Yeah,
if Warrior didn't get popped for HGH, he would have never been a babyface.
Tenryu just staring, just waiting, see what happens.
He's like, cool. Okay. All right.
Again, throw the guy back into the ring. Makes a lot of sense.
Oh, that's the Flair spot.
Yeah.
There's the Ziggler spot.
Gotta get your shit in. Get that old Ico Pro sign in the background.
Yeah.
God, the amount of times that Flair has done the eye poke in this match, I've counted at least 6.
Oh, there's hardly a moment that goes past without one wrestler having his fingers in another person's face. It's like, that's basically half what these moves are. God, I'm so happy. I lived 30 years now forward in that respect. It's like everything's just so much more interesting. Yeah, it's far more scripted and choreographed, but it's fun. This is just really boring.
Now you should just push him off.
If you could take the enthusiasm behind the characters of this time frame and apply that to the athleticism of today, you'd be getting the best.
I think it all depends on the characters, because like 92 is evergreen because there's so many iconic characters in it.
Yeah.
This so far, there's been a few, but it's not like.
I think the most of them are people that I recognize and know of.
Mm-hmm. And then you get Skinner.
Yeah. Okay, this is very much a time.
You believe that this guy was a sex symbol like 5 years before this?
Really?
One of the fabulous ones with Stan Lane.
Oh.
They used to, you know, a lot of what they did was attracting the young women to the crowd.
Crazy. God, these kids running up and down these steps. That's like their biggest priority right now.
They gotta pee, man. They had to sit there and watch. Oh jeez.
That was bad.
There he goes.
That was not great.
This might be blasphemy to some people, but I do not miss these security rails.
I
like the WWE solid block of black.
I don't like the solid. The way they have it now, where it's like they have the obvious breakaway parts. I don't like that, but maybe aesthetically, I get why you're saying that. I think the steel guardrails work better for spots.
I think the steel guardrails I like for both independent promotions because I think it just adds to the aesthetic. It's not something that I think feels second rate. I think it feels like it works for an independent promotion, and also it really works for New Japan. New Japan are great with the steel because they really make the most of those the steel guardrails when they have the opportunity to.
After tomorrow night, he could be gone permanently.
Mm.
The amount of times Flair has left and come back.
Well, actually, this one, he was pretty much gone for nearly 10 years, so...
Yeah, but I mean, even today, something came out about Rick being like, yeah, I apologize to Triple H and we're talking again. It's
what I like the fact
because he's got to go to Raw.
I kind of like the fact that they've booked a loser leaves.
What the fuck was that? What happened with Koko there? Did he shit himself on the way to the ring or something?
He got caught in his parachute pants.
All right, that's going to be a clip I'm going to have to show Caroline later. And now he's readjusting again. Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's doing it like it's like Wallace when the wrong trousers. I say it feels quite interesting. They've booked a loser leaves WWE match for the next episode of Raw, and two of the participants are in the Rumble. So if one of them wins and then is forced to leave WWE, what do you do? Another Rumble?
You hold a Rumble on Raw.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't do anything like the Raw Royal Rumble, the Royal Rumble or something.
They've done a Raw Rumble
on Raw. They did a couple.
Yeah, they did. That was what. Jesus, a lot of skin in the cat here. Shawn Michaels really wasn't that impressive.
Well, his name's Skinner. So.
Skinner did it, yeah.
But they did a Raw Rumble. That was how Jerry Lawler and that title opportunity against the Miz at Fastlane or Elimination Chamber or whatever February pay-per-view that was. They did a SmackDown Rumble in 2004. That's how Eddie Guerrero and the title shot against Lesnar at No Way Out.
Hmm.
And they did the corporate Rumble on Raw, where it was just members of the corporation and DX. They never called it the Royal Rumble, and
that was called the corporate Rumble, yeah. And they didn't call the Royal Rumble. Yeah, but the other ones were called I think the SmackDown Rumble and the Raw Rumble. So
yeah, anything that's like actually called. I mean, the greatest Royal Rumble is the only one that they actually count towards anything, which is interesting. I always like this.
Samu. And probably Alpha will also be on Raw on Monday for the
it's part of the part of the ceremony
acknowledgement.
They already said Samu and Rikishi will be there.
At this point,
okay. So did Koko used to wear lifts or what, bro? Because he looks
short,
real small right now.
He looks like he wouldn't be out of place trapped underneath a house in the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I may have to apologize to Rob Bartlett. I think I got the comparisons he was going for when he wrestled Yokozuna.
Nah, nobody needs to apologize to Rob Bartlett.
People have been tweeting him, hey, why haven't they asked you to come back to the 30th anniversary of Raw?
Isn't it obvious?
Vince probably has no idea who he is.
Let me get Howard Stern. You can totally tell that none of these spots are called, and they're all just sort of like standing around waiting for someone to interact.
Yeah, they just wander around and do something.
Yeah, they're keeping it very, very basic with these like just punches and headlocks and.
Like Bob Backlund's been in this match for about 20 minutes. Has done the square root of fuck all.
I like that.
Speaking of doing all the math in the ring, you think Axiom should have popped up? He would have liked that.
DDT by Lawler, that's gimmick infringement right there.
Well, no. That guy's not around right now. He can do whatever he wants.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We've had a perfect got up like almost immediately as well. That's pretty sacrilege.
Nobody's selling anything really. Like it's a very awkward match.
Yeah, what is it about these guys in the 1990s that had no idea how to sell? It's like, God,
Oh, it's the Berzerker. He's gonna say us.
What's with the hand?
this is his kind of match. Real shame that it comes around once a year then. I see Virgil's immediately trying to go after him. Yeah, his Berzerker has other ideas. Like, no, we haven't planned anything. It's like he's tracking everyone except Virgil. It's like,
this is good. This is good. He's beating up everybody.
Yeah.
So if you were to team people from across generations, the best possible teammate for Berzerker is probably Saxon Huxley, right?
I don't know. I
Oh,
can
there
barely
goes Lawler.
remember. Oh, I can barely remember anything that Saxon Huxley did. So
He had like the scraggly hair. He would come out like with the caveman sort of tone to what he would be saying. Like he would just kind of repeat himself and grunt.
What is happening?
So they're trying to get the referee's trying to keep Perfect in, and Lawler's trying to get him out. Koko Ware's doing it as well. Koko turning heel here.
The referee's blocking perfect. Like, come on.
ECW standout.
And there goes perfect.
You know what? At this point, I'd rather see these two fight. This is the most exciting thing I've seen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's the star power's really dropped now. Those two are out.
Right, yeah.
Now got just Bob Backlund, Ted DiBiase,
Tenryu, look at this.
Who no one knows in the States at this point, really. And then, Berzerker,
nobody knows
Koko Beware, and what?
Where is the Undertaker? Fucking send these people flying. What are we doing?
I don't know if I really want to see the Undertaker at this point because I know what's coming next after that.
Oh, there's Undertaker.
Oh shit!
Good time frame, right?
Yeah.
I always like the gray gloves look.
Just chuck all of these people, please.
So many white t-shirts in the crowd. Look at that.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than a fresh Undertaker. And there goes Backlund.
Nope,
he's not eliminated.
Ropes.
Yeah. I know that Backlund's not eliminated because one of the things I do know about this Rumble is that he lost for nearly an hour.
He's like the final three. Oh, Jesus.
He almost did that. Yeah. That was almost a big mistake.
So this is a real time period where they have no idea how to use chairs.
And there goes Patrick.
That was risky.
What a weird thing to be specifying that Berzerker is going to slam Bob Backlund on the outside like that.
Well, fucking Tenryu got some in him. Oh, there he goes.
And there goes Tenryu.
Yeah.
Or Tenryu.
Tenryu.
Monsoon's calling him. Jesus, Koko.
Please eliminate Koko.
It really should just be DiBiase and Undertaker in the ring right now.
I want someone to eliminate Koko out of his parachute pants.
Just hold him by the suspenders and toss him.
Yeah. Oh, Backlund's trying to sell now. There's a bit of psychology there for you. Oh.
Well, everybody's got to go because you know what comes next.
Is Berzerker the guy that popularized Ugg boots?
He might have been. Fashion icon.
What do we got next?
The Red Rooster.
Oh, he's only Terry Taylor at this point.
Yeah, but he's still kind of doing the Red Rooster thing with his head.
You know what, though? I totally get it. As dumb as Bruce Pritchard is when he says, oh, but he had a strut, he had a cocky walk. He totally did just move like if he's a wannabe Ric Flair. Yeah, you deserve the rooster on your head.
Yeah, he wants to be Ric Flair. Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, pretty much. I imagine.
Thank you.
Immediately out.
That was fun.
Yeah, there's hundreds of wrestlers that just want to be Ric Flair.
Bye, DiBiase. This is old school Undertaker because He goes to his knees on the choke
See, he's
slam.
not selling the choke slam.
There goes DiBiase.
There you go. Now we've got the two big guys going off against each other. Berzerker's like as tall, if not taller, than the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
Berserker's fun. I would.
Okay.
Oh my god! Already?
Yeah, this is. God, Giant Gonzalez is really one of those terrible, terrible things that they've done.
What was wrong with just having him be big?
Right. I don't understand the weird hair on the ass and everything. Like.
Yeah, what's the point of doing this even? Like, shouldn't Berzerker just blowjob Undertaker out of the ring?
Costume is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So weird. They were really into airbrush. Look at Lawler's tights. Look at this shit. Like.
And I get the appeal of like, well, we'll have the Undertaker fight a big monster.
Well, that was the appeal of the Undertaker
Yeah.
for a long time.
That doesn't he step
that?
forward too?
Yeah.
That was a lot of movement for him.
I'll tell you one thing: the Great Khali can work rings around this guy, and that's
Yeah,
something.
that's true.
Well, like early Khali was pretty fun actually. Yeah, we're not gonna show him because fuck Damien Demento.
Do something.
He is doing something. He's moving.
Damien Demento's just out there.
Yeah. We just want to get involved in the Undertaker's business again.
No.
After Raw.
Look at the Undertaker sell. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a good
selling
toss
the
out
most
from the
of anybody in
Undertaker.
this match.
Yeah.
It's so bad though.
He's been hit like 5 times. So like, I've never seen Undertaker manhandled like this.
Not at this point, actually.
Maybe not.
I mean, as bad as Giant Gonzalez is with the whole like in-ring work type stuff.
Taker's fucking selling for him. He's selling more than people were selling for him in the match.
Yeah. But if you take this exact same stuff that's happening and you just give him a different outfit, it wouldn't be as bad. But this weird...
Maybe they felt like he was too blah, like his actual physique. So
I mean, they could still could have covered him up. Like, Omos has like a shirt on and all. But just like this weird Sasquatch thing.
I'm not even against the Sasquatch. I'm against, like, you can have him in a singlet with the Sasquatch fur. It's just the weird fucking bodysuit. So, like, he's supposed to be nude with fur?
Mm-hmm. And then, like, why is he playing up to the crowd, you know?
Oh, he's saying, roar, I'm a big man, I go roar.
IRS. One of the best names that's ever been in wrestling history. Irwin R. Schyster. And it doesn't help at all that his manager is Harvey Whippleman.
Mm.
So in the context of the time, Undertaker, in his first like real babyface feud, was against Kamala, who was managed by Harvey Whippleman. He was supposed to fight Sid, who was managed by Harvey Whippleman, but Sid left, so you fought Kamala. He put Kamala in a casket, and Whippleman vowed revenge, and this is that revenge.
Even still, though, Whippleman shouldn't have been with Kamala, you know? Everything comes to a halt with this. The whole world just stops.
To be honest, it's kind of a relief.
I mean, it barely started, but like, yeah.
No, now we just go back into this.
Oh yeah, now they're just. Oh, poor Bob.
Just hold the urn up.
Yeah, he's not out there yet. He's got to run back out there.
He's had his way with every wrestler, including the Berzerker a few minutes ago.
Yeah. I don't know. I think in those situations, the Berzerker's having his way with him.
Well, I mean,
it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
What a weird position for Undertaker to be in, too.
Oh, shit.
Tatanka. Crowd wakes up.
That's sad.
Tatanka recently just said that he's not going to be on the 30th anniversary episode.
Oh, we all crushed.
Yeah. I thought for sure he was going to show up.
Apparently his kid's like doing like some kind of a competition or something, so he's going to do that instead.
Do you think he was even invited?
Yes.
Yeah, they probably extended the invitation, yeah.
Last one.
There's not too many legends out there anymore.
They need to invite, they need to invite some people, because it's just like, I don't know if you guys are in agreement, but that Legends Raw lineup is pretty,
So underwhelming. I had said that it was stacked, and I stand by that in the sense that, yes, if you say Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Ric Flair, that is a stacked lineup, but yes, it's overall underwhelming, because it's like, all right, this is what you're doing, and hey, look, it's the Bella Twins again.
Mm-hmm.
Watching Nikki plug her show about her successful marriage after we had John Cena propose to her.
Each year that goes by, there's less and less people that are available for either just being a part of another company, or they're passed away, or
you've got people under contract. You've got Foley under contract. You have Brett under contract. There's ever a time.
Well, you can't force them to appear. I mean, it's not that kind of contract.
Schyster is one of those guys that is like deceptively actually pretty damn big.
Have you seen his kids? They carry the size gene.
Never would have imagined as a kid if you would have said like, hey, IRS is going to have 2 kids. One of them is going to have a gimmick of believing in himself, and the other one's going to be essentially another version of Undertaker, but mixed with Mr. Rogers and all these other things.
Well, yeah, this is pretty dire right now. In terms of just this, again, it's not even just like bad wrestling now. It's just like people that no one really cares about.
Pathetic. Probably close to the fucking end.
I mean, Tatanka's probably the biggest star in this now, just because he has an undefeated streak going.
Mm-hmm. I've never been a fan of the Nasty Boys.
You didn't have to be. Hulk Hogan was.
Yeah. Didn't you draft them, Rob, in like the first mock draft or something?
I did. They were put into. They were on my all-time roster. They went into a bunkhouse brawl with Kid and Murdoch.
This is why you prepare for draws.
That was a bit of preparation. What else are you gonna do with the Nasty Boys other than a bunkhouse brawl? But that was the same card that I also put London and Kendrick in like the semi-main, and
yeah,
I like London and Kendrick.
Wonder if we did that again, how different our rosters would be.
I don't think they'd be that different. It's only been it's only been like 2 years. It's not even been 2 years. It's been just over a year since we did that. So I think the landscape has changed extraordinarily to the point where I would.
Well, it's like Braun Breaker might be a pick now.
I wouldn't. I still wouldn't pick Braun Breaker at this point.
I got a feeling I'd pick some different people. Not like we had drafted like about like 100 or something.
Yeah, it would depend on. It depend on who was available for you to pick. Because it's like, I probably would want to draft some of those people that you probably want to draft as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I imagine like if we did pick the Velveteen Dream, he wouldn't be on the list.
Right.
He well, at a point we did that, that was well past his allegations, so I don't think any of us touched him.
Really?
How's Damien Demento still in this? Toss the guy out. Come on.
Why is anyone still in this? Why aren't we finished yet? These gaps between these gaps between entrants is too long. It's 2 minutes. It's just way too long.
Yeah, that's why 2 years later from this, it's going to be 30 seconds, and it's too fucking quick.
Yeah, no, it's like you always... The medium is 90 seconds. 90 seconds is fine.
60 seconds, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was 60 for the... yeah, it was 60 for
95?
the 95 one, yeah. Well,
And it breezes by, too.
Yeah. Well, it finishes in 42 minutes, so yeah. Is anyone watching this thinking that any of these people have a chance of fighting Bret Hart at WrestleMania?
Probably at this point, they thought that Tatanka might.
Maybe.
And I mean, they're not counting out Bob Backlund, but then pretty soon.
You eventually got Backlund against Bret Hart for the title.
Yeah.
I went back and looked at it. I picked the Nasty Boys very, very close to the end.
Shockmaster.
Out of all the different gimmicks that Ottman's had, if you were to just say, like, all right, you only get to do one for your career, what would you think would be the best?
Typhoon, you put him with Earthquake.
Yeah, I'd say that probably.
I agree. Certainly wouldn't be going with Tugboat.
But that's definitely better than the Shockmaster.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Rikishi.
Fatu. His enunciation on that.
Put a lot
Fat
of emphasis
too.
on that.
Hey, I'm fat too.
Also fat.
Oh my god! Like, look at that super kick. Like this guy's like a wave of the future.
Oh please! At this point, I'd take Rikishi over anyone else in this match.
Mm-hmm. It is weird though. Look at like the way that they used to frame things is definitely different because Rikishi looks smaller.
I think Rikishi is like
he is smaller.
He's deceptively small. Like it feels weird to say because obviously he's got more girth than he has height.
First of all, he's not wearing shoes.
Yeah, that's probably helping. Well, not helping his cause.
And then he is, even though he's thick here, he's not as wide as he would go on to be.
There's also this thing as well, is that if you have long hair, it makes you look smaller than if you have like short hair. So when he has his short, slick back hair, he actually makes him look taller.
That too. Casual racism on commentary.
I feel a real pain in the arse to have to wrestle for like, even though it's not like he's doing anything particularly strenuous, but he's been there for about like 10, 15 minutes now wearing that shirt. Like, truly, most IRS matches took like, you're 6 minutes in and out.
So look at all these mullets. Look at Tatanka with the spray painted top of his head almost. And you got Damien Demento's haircut. Nobody had a decent haircut back then, did they?
No. Oh, here's another one that doesn't really have it, but
yeah, another bad set of hair. Pretty bad when Backlund's the one that's got the best set of hair on him right here. Maybe Rotundo? I don't know if he has the mullet. I can't quite tell yet. Nah. Of course, they go at it instead of just teaming up.
Yeah, no, it's like you could just eliminate everyone in this match. Right. Tony, pop quiz. How old is Earthquake in this match?
I was just going to say, he's always like...
Fucking probably younger than us.
Right, he's probably like 26 or something.
He's 29.
He's my age.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Younger than me at this point.
I just assume at that point when he was like in middle school, he looked like a 40-year-old
dad. Why are they fighting each other? Why do they go right for each other and just fight each other the entire time?
I guess it's just like, just want to prove which one of those two is the better one. It's like, oh, I had no idea I was going to eliminate you, even though we were fighting for the last 5 minutes.
But they didn't even try to team.
Yeah.
It was
It doesn't even lead to the two of them having like a match at WrestleMania or anything.
No, the most they go on to do is both of them end up having sumo matches against Yoko because, hey, get it, they're fat.
I think it just goes into the whole idea of the fact that they don't do any real preparation beyond the fact that, like, this guy gets eliminated at this time. Like, I guess they just decided, oh,
I think this might be on the Mount Rushmore of one of the worst Royal Rumbles I've ever seen.
It's high up there. It's pretty dull. To be fair, like most Rumbles around about this time, I would qualify into that bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Like 92 was obviously a great one.
The
94 is much better.
This have star power, and the ones after this have action.
Well, no, well, it's Carlos.
Speaking of star power in action, yeah, 94 is much better. And then
95 is quick.
95 is quick. 96 is fun. 97's, of course, like
by 97 they're
chaos.
getting into their groove.
But realistically, you look at 95, 96 in terms of the roster depth, and it's just trash, those two Rumbles. 97 is more fun. Yeah, 97 is more fun. 98 is fun.
By 98, I feel like now you're in the modern groove of.
Yeah, but
99 sucks though.
Yeah, but you always get this thing with like the Attitude Era in particular. Like most WrestleManias and SummerSlams and Royal Rumbles in the Attitude Era actually suck.
Yeah.
Like their biggest shows are actually some of their worst ones. And
2000 is actually one I would put that up there as one of the worst WrestleManias as well. I mean,
yeah, it was a bad Royal Rumble. It was a bad WrestleMania.
There goes Demento.
The best pay-per-view in 2000 was Backlash.
I don't know if I would have, if you gave me $1 million, I don't know if I could have said Carlos Colon eliminates Damien Demento in the 1993 Royal Rumble.
The Canadian earthquake
and how fast time moves. Like 2.5 years prior to this, he was the heel in the company.
It sounds bad, but I'm kind of wishing for an earthquake to happen right now in this match just to liven things up.
How long would it be before Earthquake is out of WWF?
After this, about a year.
Not too long, yeah.
Left in 94.
Because he wrestles at WrestleMania 10. He squashes Adam Bomb.
Yeah, it was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Earthquake was released in May 94 after getting injured by Yokozuna.
Oh my god.
Jeez. Realistically, at this point, Tito's probably looking like one of the favorites.
He's El Matador at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of ruins his chances for me.
Can we get a replay on the fucking Rikishi elimination? That was...
Why do you want to watch more of this stuff? What do you want to...
Because Rikishi is the only one moving in real time. The rest of them are moving in slow motion.
So he can't even bother to do like any sort of flashy.
Where is Yokozuna?
He doesn't count to 27, so we've got a little while before he turns up. I think he's one of the first guys to start that whole 27 myth.
Even
so the whole
just
thing about like 27.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say 27 is seen like the mythical number because most people won from it, but I don't think anyone's won from 27 since like.
I think that's changed in recent years.
Yeah, I know.
They started to realize that they didn't have anybody as number 30, and then at this point, number 30's won almost as many times.
Yeah, it's won. So what is it? Undertaker, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, and anyone else?
I don't know. I think we finally got to a point where 1 in 30 have the same number of winners. I think it's 3 each.
Let's go on to the handy dandy Royal Rumble stats page. And
I was gonna say, if anyone knew, you would.
Yeah.
Hey, the model, Rick Martel.
So number 27, number 28, and number 30 are all tied at 4 winners.
Okay, so there is one more winner.
Who's the 4th guy at 30? Or is it a girl? No, we're forgetting.
It's most recently Brock in 2022, and then there's Triple H in 2016.
Right. Okay, that's the one
yeah.
I'm forgetting, yeah.
And number 1 is just
number 1's got 3, as does number 24.
Okay.
Batista's the only person that won twice in the same exact spot at number 28.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's a nice stat for him. I would have him come in at 28 as like a celebrity just because it's a lot of fun.
I think he's a bit too big for them there.
I'm thinking he's going to go in the Hall of Fame this year.
Well, he went in the Hall of Fame last year.
No, it was 2020 when he was supposed to go to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he was supposed to go there. Yeah, I thought he went in now, but I guess not.
He decided not to do it in front of nobody.
God bless him.
Could have gone in last year then.
No, because it was all about Taker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
So I think that makes sense to do it this year.
Yeah.
And so far they haven't announced anybody else. It's not like there's anybody else in the way.
Talking about that, but if they don't have The Rock, they better build it around Batista.
Mm-hmm. He's like a leech, because he sucks.
He's got a whole rumble full of leeches right now.
Surprised that was never a character.
Yeah, there should be a character with the nickname The Leech. Why would it be Disco Inferno?
Thank you, Lord.
Here we go. Star of the match, Mr. Fuji coming out. He's been stuffing him with rice and sushi.
No, not the casual racism. All right, how fast do you think they start flying?
Hopefully soon. As soon as they can't start flying soon enough at this point. To be fair,
I'm honestly surprised they're not already flying.
His tights look like those jelly donuts they used to eat in Pokemon.
Never understood why they're just like, oh, those are jelly donuts. Like, have you ever seen a jelly donut?
Well, yeah, it's just the idea that it's because it was the 4 kids thing and they weren't going to name it what it actually was.
There you go.
That's, yucky Asian food. And so they just started to refer to it as my jelly donuts.
Yeah.
What do you think it was in the Japanese version?
Just a
like
rice ball.
Like a rice ball. Yeah.
Rice. Yeah, pretty much rice ball, yeah.
What's wrong with rice?
You're just like, kids these days don't eat rice in America.
They eat Rice Krispies.
Yeah. Of course, nothing beats the best line that's ever been in the history of that show. I'll turn my frying pan into a drying pan.
All right, you know what?
Look at the camera shaking.
I'll be damned, though. Like, the people are popping.
Got an earthquake going on with the camera. Rosa family number 1. The crowd.
Yeah. Everyone pops for the Giants going up against each other's spot.
Mm-hmm.
Hitman is Las Vegas. Or in Las Vegas, I don't know.
Owen Hart doesn't even...
Owen Hart's wearing parachute pants.
Oh, yeah, because it's the high energy Owen Hart.
What a terrible look. Yeah, back then, it didn't look as bad because everything was like... That was the, those patterns and all, but still, how terrible.
The patterns aren't the bad part. The bad part's the fucking parachute. Like,
it's a combination of things.
I can't believe the highlight of this fucking match has been Koko Beware walking to the ring.
Oh, almost. Yeah, that'll do.
That was pretty good. That was a nice spot.
If that would have been a little bit smoother, that would have been way better, but still, standout moment in this one.
Yeah.
At least they're calling him Yokozuna instead of Yokozuma.
Yeah, they figured out that it's an N.
He's still out there.
Look at the top left turnbuckles off.
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
the one around Tito.
One.
Oh, no, Tito's not there anymore. Yeah,
So
behind Tito.
Martel, not Tito.
And now Martel's kicking it. What was that?
It was supposed to be a clothesline. I think Santana thought he was supposed to duck under, and Yoko said, "No, you're not."
Nah.
Like,
this is what happens when you call it in the ring.
Thank you.
All the time.
Goodbye. Oh, fuck Santana. He said,
He refuses. But Yoko's going, go out, you're not winning.
Repo, man.
Repo.
See if he lasts longer than what he does in my Royal Rumble.
No, he went after the fucking 500-pound guy. Why did he do that?
Yeah, he's already lasted longer than what I had planned.
Yeah.
It's weird to think in a different universe, the game Owen Hart.
I mean, it's not the biggest thing I'd think about in a different universe with Owen Hart, but you know.
Yeah, it's just weird that like a couple things go differently. Who knows? Because when I think Owen Hart, I think King of Hearts, and then I think Black Heart. I never think of the Rocket Owen Hart.
Oh, they're going for everyone joining up on Yoko now.
It's a spot.
Yeah, classic spot.
Let's
love this type of spot.
Because we all have to get our hands on the big guy so he can go.
Oh my god, these again with these ropes the way
these
they
ropes are gonna fucking
lovely.
Snap.
Yeah.
The ribs break with Braun Breaker and Grayson Waller, but you get all these people and that's perfectly fine.
To be fair, they're doing a really good job of building Yoko through this.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's why I
debuted the company a little while ago, so
that's why I called it one of the most logical rumbles ever, because
the big man's too hard to get up.
Yeah, the big guy, you can't eliminate him, and then guess what? He wins.
Has one of the most illogical endings, but
yeah.
Well, even that, it's like, okay, I'm gonna show you how stupid you are for trying to pin me. Throw you off.
I wonder who this is.
Hulk Hogan.
Big Pop. I'm curious if I would have been watching around this time. I mean, I kind of was, but you know, I'm too young to remember, and I know I didn't order it on pay-per-view or anything. I'm curious if I would have been like, oh, okay, well, Macho Man's going to come in and save the day, you know?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people would probably expect at this point.
Yeah, I mean, listen to that pop. And if you think of that, he did spend all of last year as the champion.
Well, a few months as champion, really.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, there you go. There, finally, he's thrown him out. But he's really feeling it now. He's been there for, must be about 7 minutes at this point.
Oh yeah, this might be his longest match.
Ooh.
Oh, he saved that elimination. That could have looked really bad if he bounced back.
Another one? Oh boy.
Not quite able to skin the cat, but there you go.
There we go.
Happened 3 times in one match. 3 different people.
It's like, why is Shawn Michaels so special? The only reason why Shawn Michaels is special for skinning the cat is because he actually touched the floor.
Yeah.
These are the final 6.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh,
now that's a great elimination.
Christ.
That might be the best elimination of the whole match so far.
Bye-bye.
Fucking Reaper Man got to the final 5.
Terrible.
All things considered, if you just take out Martel and put in Flair,
not
a terrible Final Four. Well, I take that back. Take out Martel and Backlund and put in Flair and Perfect.
Right. There you go. Then that probably would be the way that they'd book it in more modern terms.
Yeah.
Backlund actually eliminated anyone.
He must have eliminated somebody at some point.
I'm not sure, actually.
Let's see. Fatu.
Oh, the one we didn't say.
Is credited to him.
Fatu's credited to himself. Fatu just fucking
launched himself, yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Opie.
So here's the thing that annoys me. Flair and Backlund totally last longer in the Royal Rumble than Mysterio did. But for so long, it was like, yeah, Mysterio has the record at 62-12.
Well, I think Backlund ends up being like 61, right? Oh, look at that. So there you go. Backlund eliminated Martel too. Hey, Mikey, he likes it.
So, OP?
Oh, shit. Oh, there he goes.
What a lame
toss.
That guy's just tap him. Yeah, you're okay, Backlund. You're okay. Yeah. That's the part that I always remember being like, why are you talking about Samoa? Like, you know, watching this as a kid being just like, oh, that's not Japan.
Now, I get it now because he's like, yeah, we're about to win.
Right.
Go.
Technically speaking, though, I don't remember them ever saying he is Japanese. Just that he's champion. I mean, Yokozuna means like champion in Japanese, so it's like, yeah, I mean, it's not like they're officially saying this is a Japanese person.
No, but all of the jokes,
but everything,
right? Like sushi rolls and stuff like that.
Yeah, everything else short of saying that happens.
If you watch WrestleMania 9 and Hulk Hogan just keeps going, yeah, the Jap, I got the Jap.
Yeah, I don't know why this needs to be going on for as long as it is.
Because babyface comeback, Callum.
Yeah, no, but this isn't really Michael's Undertaker from 07.
So think about like 2023, we go back 10 years to the 2013 Royal Rumble and compare it to now. And the people that are in the 2013 Royal Rumble, many of them are still on the roster. You look at 1993 compared to 2003. Yeah, what a big difference.
I don't think
Shawn Michaels and Undertaker are the only crossover there.
Yeah, Undertaker. Actually, yeah, well, Michaels isn't in the Rumble, so it's like
Undertaker. So it would only be Undertaker being the only crossover.
Yeah.
Look at this great sell job. I think it's a slow burn to get through. Like the final 30 seconds of this are actually pretty fun.
The big man with his super kick.
Nearly got the leg up to about the waist there.
As we're heading towards the end of this, I want to remind everybody that if you want to support us and to ensure that we do maybe even another one of these or something, the Pick Your Poison tier on Patreon, but there's also different other tiers like the Darkcast and such. You got the YouTube members only section that you can get access to the same things, if not better.
Ready? Squashed.
Good leg drops, always from Yokozuna. Always like this leg drops. He's internally hurt.
You hear the kids? USA. USA.
God, is this match over yet?
Xenophobia was an easy sell.
I mean, like, is it over in 2023 by now? Because it feels like it's going on forever.
Unfortunately.
Didn't realise this match just ended.
This is comparable to an episode of Raw with how long it is, actually. Yeah, this is...
Yeah, we're all saying that, Yoko. Come on.
And he's going to send himself into the post, isn't he?
Oof.
Oh, Jesus Christ, end it already.
Yeah, someone's just taking everything, and he's supposed to come back at some point.
Yeah, like he needs to... They're both got to hit their finishers.
Now doing one more.
Okay. All right.
Here will be a switch.
Move.
There you go.
Oh.
Wait, ready for it. Look at it, look. Ah.
The fall. And then one of the weirdest endings ever. Why are you going for a pinfall?
This does.
You're a veteran. You know how this works.
That's a great elimination. Not only did he no-sell Savage's finisher, but he threw him out from the floor. That's how big he is.
He didn't no-sell it any worse than Ultimate Warrior did a couple of years, like 2 years ago.
This is so weird, though, because he's not wearing his iconic gear. You don't hear his music. Oh, shit.
Oh, they're back.
And of course, the way that things are different these days, he just gets out of the ring. There's no obligatory, I got to stand on the ropes and point at the sign and have the pyro go off and all.
I believe he was handed a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like his ticket to WrestleMania.
Yeah, probably.
Hopefully they gave him 2 seats.
I think they're going right to the back because I think he's going to have a stare down with Brett.
Everyone's leaving.
Yeah, everybody's just like, all right, I'm out.
All right, I'm done. To be fair, I'm surprised they lasted this long. Some of them. That's a pretty empty. Oh, to be fair, I don't know how quickly they left, but it looks pretty empty there already. Oh.
I like these old still frame recaps at the end. They should do that.
Yeah. That's a cool sign.
I used to really like the ones they did at the end of like 03 or like 02 ones where it was like music videos at the end of every.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God bless them for like working that quickly to put a music video together. Wow, they got to the end of the show pretty quickly.
I mean, realistically, you do 2 or 3 images from each match. And then you get to the Royal Rumble, and that's the bulk of it.
Nice.
Just end on an extended facial shot of Yokozuna.
Here we go with the backstage taking pictures in front of the phone thing.
Where's the sound?
Music's more important.
Okay. Well, that was the 1993 Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's it. That's one of these markers in history, because that's the first time Yokozuna is going to go on to challenge the champion at WrestleMania. We obviously know how that plays out. Not the best possible way. But 30 years ago, lots changed in 30 years.
Yeah, I was bored. I've lived a full life.
Yeah, almost everybody on this roster is not around anymore in one way or another. There's a few people that will pop up here and there in some other fashion. Like, obviously, some people backstage, or like Ric Flair is going to pop up on the 30th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. And, you still got some people that maybe could show up, like a Bob Backlund or a Ted DiBiase or something. Fortunately, a lot of people passed away since this point, and the roster goes through so many different changes and just aesthetically different, and it's an entirely different thing. Even when you skip 10 years, you skip 20 years, 30 years, geez. But it's still fun to go back and watch some of these old things and kind of track the differences between all that. So if you do want us to do more on any of that kind of front, then keep in mind that we do have those different pick your poison things that we could be doing. We will be doing something pretty soon with that. And, we've got things like the dark cast that we might be able to do something in with that. This is not a mock draft. I have the wrong thing up on the screen. So other ways for you to help support us are clicking on the subscribe button, clicking the thanks button, hitting the like button, totally free option. Helps us boost our SEO algorithm a little bit. And just checking us out on all the different types of platforms there. You could also pick up some Redbubble or TeePublic merchandise. You can go to smarkoutmoment.com and see everything else that's happening over there. Go to anthonymango.com and like and follow all those different links, including fanboysanonymous.com. And go ahead and follow what Rob and Callum are up to. And check out what they want to plug.
Follow me everywhere at Dude Fleece. You can check out all my work on Fightful, WrestleZone, and hopefully by the time we get to WrestleMania, I'll have kicked this cough. I've got dudefleece.com in the works. I've got all this other stuff in the works, but you guys know the deal. I thank you all for supporting, and eventually, when more stuff is ready, I'll let you all know. But for now, I give you Callum Wiggins.
You can find me on Twitter at Wigmeister14. You can check out the power rankings over on the Smark website. That's my weekly series where I review and rate the WWE superstars, rank them from 1 to 10. So you can follow that along if you want to have an alternative way of keeping up with things with WWE and who's doing well and who's doing not so well. And then you can also check out the Fantasy League, where you can also find out who's picking up points and not picking up points at all. Over the course of the year, we've been having our teams and they've been scoring points, and we're getting very close to the end. It's still a while away, but it's more in sight than it ever was. And so, keep following that along, see how the Royal Rumble affects that as well. And that's it from me.
Alrighty, everybody. Well, that means that we are heading into next week's type of content after we do the hot tags on Friday. And stay tuned to the Mega Maniacs on Facebook, and I'll probably be plugging it elsewhere too, but I have it set up already for our Royal Rumble predictions contest, where we're going to factor that into the Fantasy League, but we're also going to give you guys the opportunity to join in as well and get on the fun for a little bit of bragging rights. It's going to be to try to predict the winner of the Royal Rumble matches, the Iron Man / Iron Woman, who gets the most eliminations, who is the one that's out there for the shortest amount of time, and the final 4 members, as well as all the entrants, number 1 to number 30, for both the men's and the women's matches. And I'm going to have that information for you as far as like the actual link and everything probably around the hot tags, I'll set that up and then we can put that out there for everybody. We got the Royal Rumble predictions itself coming up next week, and we've got plenty other kind of content popping up your way. And, we're rolling on the season where right after that, we've got NXT Vengeance Day. Then we're going to start getting into Elimination Chamber, and we got AEW Revolution and the WrestleMania and all. It's just going to be kind of like just one thing after another. So strap yourselves in. And if you have anything in mind of what you'd like us to do over the couple of blank weeks that we have ahead of us, let us know. We'll factor that all into our discussion and all. And just stay tuned and you'll see what you see when you see it. But for now, that's going to do us in. We want to thank you all for listening to the 1993 Royal Rumble Fannounce Table Watch Along. And we will see you next time, everybody. But for now, this has been another Smark Out moment, and we're being counted out.